Hi guys, so we're going to look at the review, which is the third and final assessment piece for RPA. Just like this magical pizza holding unicorn riding sloth, it's going to be awesome. This booklet is on sector, so I'd really strongly advise you to download a copy while you're listening along to this and to use this video to help you get a sense of what this assignment's about. So you're going to be writing about 3 different sections in this assignment. The first is knowledge and skills. What did you learn? The second is decisions. What did you do? And the third is your outcome. How well did you answer your question? It's pretty straightforward. The other thing that you're going to be asked to do in this assessment is to prepare a short introductory summary of your research. And this is because the person who is seeing your review is different to the person who marks your folio and outcome. They're not going to see those things, so you have to give them a bit of scope. You have 150 words for the summary, and then you have 1,500 words for the rest of the assignment. This is split into 3 equal parts, roughly. It is advisable to make sure that you stick as closely to that split as well as you can. You're marked on 3 review criteria and a fourth, and a fourth criteria of synthesis, but it's basically how well do you produce your piece. So you really want to think carefully about the way that you actually produce this, because you have some options here. Unlike in RPB, where the report is a formal academic document, you have the opportunity to produce your findings and your reflections in a variety of ways. So it could be that you do a PowerPoint, you might choose to do an oral, you may choose to do a discussion with me where you bring in some notes and we talk about it and then I question you, or you can do a written report. There's no right or wrong. It's really just, is your strength in the writing or is your strength in the discussing? Use what's going to work well for you. This is because when you do it, you will either have 500 words or 3 minutes to actually develop your point. So if you know that writing 500 words is going to be challenging for each of these criteria, then write up the dot points to have a discussion, because we can get through a lot of information in 3 minutes and it's not going to make things better or worse for you. It's actually just going to allow you to excel in a format that suits you. So as I said before, this is marked on 3 criteria, and basically the difference between the marks is the level of understanding that you show. So in the A band, we're looking at insightful and in-depth sorts of discussion, whereas in the B band, it's more considered. Like, you get it, but you're not really going into detail. C band is where you've just sort of stated things, it's satisfactory, whereas D band is where you don't give us enough to actually understand what you've done. We won't even worry about the E band because you could literally trip over and get more than an E. In terms of our assignment, we know that we're moving into this in week 7, and you will be asked to produce a checkpoint each week, just like we did for the outcome. The difference is that it's a much more guided activity, and then you will have week 10 to be doing some peer and self-editing before your compulsory draft at the end of week 10. If you do not submit a draft, then there is a compulsory holiday class that you need to come to get back up to standard. And then you will be given your review back in the holidays so that you can submit it at the end of week 1. It then goes to the SACE board basically a week later, okay? Those students who submit their review on time will then be given the opportunity to take back their folio drafts and work on those for 2 weeks before we move into a supervised study. So we are nearing the end, and the review is a really manageable assessment piece. If you just follow along, it's plug and play. So with that in mind, we will get started.